What I've got here today is another Loewe television. This is a big one. It's an 80 centimeter tube. It's a 4:3 tube, so it's not a widescreen. It's not totally flat, it's got a bit of curvature to it. The model is Arcada 8784ZP. The date on this one, I'm not totally sure, but I've got a Loewe catalogue with this model in it of 2003. It's pretty late for a TV manufacturer to be still making TVs in 4:3. Loewe still did have a few 4:3s at that stage of the game, but largely went to 16:9 aspect ratio. There's the remote, one of the grey-white types rather than the black of old. The front panel's down. We've got a headphone socket there, one of those bigger style ones, left-right audio and an S-video. No composite input there. Now I've got to say that really the main thing about this TV is that it is a 100 Hz model, the 100 Hz being the sort of thing that I don't like for the older consoles, the 50 and 60 Hz consoles. I've mentioned quite a few times in all my tele reviews of 100 Hz models, but that's okay. The feature that I really like about this TV, and I mention it in the big Loewe Arcada review, is the VGA input. This model is equipped with the VGA input. Pretty much all the Loewe 100 Hz models are capable of displaying VGA if they have the VGA card installed. This was an optional extra that could have been purchased at the time of purchasing the TV, and fortunately in this case this one has had it put in. The previous owner told me that he walked into the dealer, a Loewe dealer, and saw this TV or one similar to it hooked up to a PC, and he thought that was pretty cool, so he got that extra included, and that's a great thing. I'm really happy that I've ended up with this TV with the VGA option, because it's pretty rare. Not many buyers actually got it installed. So we'll go around the back and have a look there. Here's the ID. The chassis type there at the left hand side is Q24, which would be the Q2400 chassis. I haven't had it before. The Q ones usually designate that it's 100 Hz, and the Z on the end of the model number there, 8784, usually denotes that it's 100 Hz as well. So moving over, we've got 3 SCARTs. That's nice, 3 SCARTs, pretty good. And then over here, the most important thing of all is the rear VGA socket there, and it has an accompanying audio 3.5mm headphone socket, and your standard audio outputs there, left and right. I'll take the back cover off the TV in this review sometime so we can actually have a look at the card, get an idea of what it looks like. I may as well get out of the way the Sega Saturn. It's running RGB, of course. It's a Japanese version, so it's outputting 60 Hz refresh rate. And to be honest, this TV displays it better than probably any other 100 Hz TV I've seen. It looks good. I reckon if you just came in and looked at it, you'd find the pictures quite agreeable, but it's still not up there with the dedicated 50 or 60 Hz CRT. Got a couple of the old usual problems, is that the scan lines have been removed altogether, or they're absolutely minuscule. They're really non-existent, and it also seems to want to make all the edges quite pixelated. They're quite square. They're overly square. You wouldn't get that on a 60 Hz set. I mean, I know we're talking Saturn and it's not the highest res thing around, but usually your edges are a bit smoother than that. Just wait till the game comes back on, because obviously I'm not going to be able to show you anything like that. I mean, you can see it's a little bit pixelated there on the edges. That would just be smoothed off a bit more, as I said, on a 60 Hz set. So it's 100 Hz is better on this than any other set I've seen, but still not really the way to go for the old school stuff. Anyhow, the VGA is the main focus of this review. I'll swing the camera over and just show you what I got set up to show you that. We've got the Saturn on top over there, the grey one. Already dealt with that. There's a 360, got a Dreamcast right there. A couple of switch boxes to quickly switch between all the inputs. And then there's a PC elsewhere. We'll get onto that in a moment. The PC's up and running. Windows XP in 640 by 480. The Loewe here only displays 640 by 480 in its VGA mode. The early VGA TVs, that's about all they did. But I've got to tell you though, it looks really good. And you can see on the camera now how clear that text is. Clear and easy to read. I'm sort of saving my opinion a little bit, but let's go into this. Let's get a convergence or crosshatch pattern up. Now I'm telling you, that is pretty damn good. It's not perfect, but it's done close. I was very surprised when I saw this for the first time. Like, its straightness is excellent. You can pick little things perhaps in the corners, but geez, I tell you, very impressive. Very impressive. Very straight. What I also like about the VGA card is that in its menu, this special little choice here comes up, VGA geometry, east-west amplitude, picture width, picture horizontal position, picture vertical, picture height. There's another one, trapezium. Those settings there are the sort that you'd find in the service menu typically of a TV, but you're given complete access to it in the VGA mode and only in the VGA mode. And the range of movement or the scale is sufficient to get the PC here square and centered and fitting into the screen, and the same can be said for both the Dreamcast and the 360. If I put those systems on, they do actually need some tweaking to get them properly centered, but all three can be centered quite well, so that's excellent. Good work, Loewe. We'll go into some other systems. Here's Outrun on the 360. Now I believe the arcade hardware runs on a Cheerio, Sega's Cheerio board, and it runs at 640 by 480 if I'm not wrong as well, so it's a good match, VGA match. This TV's red is not quite as vibrant or as sort of vivid as most of the other VGA TVs I've seen. It's got a deeper red, and by no means is that a disadvantage.
F50, automatic transmission, outrun mode, flash wave.
Looks great. Fantastic, in fact. There's only really two things I can criticise about the picture on the telly here, and that would be that the corners are a little bit blurry. Not so noticeable here right now, but when you've got text in the bottom corners or top corners of the screen, you will notice them a little bit blurry. More so on a PC than anything else. And if I had a minor little gripe, it might be that the picture looks a little bit grainy, but I'm sitting up pretty close here, so understandable, I guess. But don't let those criticisms fool you. I think this is a brilliant looking set. It's the best VGA TV I've seen yet. Getting close to what I would expect from a true VGA monitor if you could get one of this size. We'll go on to one last console, the Dreamcast.
protocol.
Yeah, it looks really good. Just needs its geometry set right. Again, it needs the picture stretched out a bit to fill the screen right up, but those controls I showed you before will do that. Yeah, no problem with the Dreamcast on this TV. Let's finish off this review by having a look inside at that VGA card. Righto, back covers off. First we'll go to the tube. Phillips tube. That's really Loewe's butt and breader of tubes there, the old Phillips. 80, A80, 80 refers to the size, centimetres. Made in Germany. Yeah, good stuff from Phillips, these tubes, no doubt about that. Down to the chassis. We'll go to this VGA card. Well, there it is, right? There it is in front of me there. It's just a small little board. You can see that this is the component side. Not a lot on the other side. It basically just has a couple of cables running off it that connect into the chassis. And you can see that there's a lot of connectors available here on the chassis for other expansions. Don't know which one's the VGA one. Pretty much one cable coming from the VGA card as far as I can see. It's hard to see, and just another cable for the power of it. Not much to it at all. I'd like to see the headphone socket here. It looks like it plugs into the to the board. I don't know if it's actually part of the VGA card. I'll have to take it apart one day and have a look at it. Well, that's pretty much it. You know, actually, I got this TV in the first place, or I wanted something like this. I wanted a Loewe of this size, 80 centimetres, and the plan was to take out the chassis and put in one of Loewe's own E3000 chassis. Not sure at this stage if that's actually if they're compatible with one another. But because this specimen turned out to be so good and it's got the VGA card in it, I'm just going to leave it be because it's a keeper for sure. So I won't sacrifice this one. I'll be on the hunt for another 80 centimetre tube like this to do a bit of a Frankenstein job with. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.